Okay, let's talk about some adjustment. Then we go to cost of living. 3, 2, 1, and 1. What's been
The hardest adjustment for me has been the time difference, the 8-hour time difference, as well as acclimating to the culture shock that you kind of get as an American that's moving to a place like Kenya. So adjusting to that and then trying to get used to figuring out, okay, I have this client that's going to be here at 9. I need to figure out, times that I could manipulate my day in order to be there for them.
Okay, let's talk about cost of living. Okay, so the question is, how much does it cost to live here comfortably as an expat in Kenya?
I would say if you budget around $2,500, you can live, and that's spending $2,500 per month. You could live very comfortably. You can eat out whenever you want to eat out. You can have a person who comes and cleans for you. You can have transportation anywhere you want to go, and that's about $2,500. That's what my budget is anyways for living here, and I live comfortably, and I'm usually under that number.
Can you break it down?
So it would be, I would say about $800-900 for rent, and then I would budget about $400 for groceries, $500 maybe if you go to a grocery store twice a week like I do, because fruit and vegetables are less expensive here, so you're not gonna spend as much as the States, but I go to the grocery store twice a week because I cook for myself and I try to get fresh fruit and vegetables. So you got $500 plus $900, let's say that's $1,400. Let's say $600 or right around that number. And that would get you from wherever you want to go. That would get you to wherever you want to go. You can even take a trip to Mombasa once in that month if you wanted to, and you would still be under that $500 range. And then another $500 for just doing whatever you want to do. If you want to go to the club, if you want to get you some shisha, you have that extra $500 buffer to where you could do what you want to do. So then it comes out to about $2,500.
How do you sustain your life here in Kenya?
So I have about 15 to 20 clients in between that number. I own a clinic in the area that I'm from, and that clinic provides me with income, obviously. I see the kiddos there remotely, and I provide remote supervision to my staff as well. Care or adjusting their treatment as needed, like for instance, if they're on a manding protocol or if they're on a tacting protocol, I kind of change that up for them, which is asking for what you want. And because my primary thing that I do is children with autism, and I provide treatment for them. And then I do some remote teaching, basically, where I have a student where she's trying to accrue her internship hours, and I provide her with the supervision to accrue her internship hours so she can too become a BCBA.
For a layman who don't understand the work that you do, how would you explain to them?
I would explain my work in layman's terms as children with autism need somewhere that they can go in order for them to live the lives that their parents want them to live, that they want to live. And the place that they go is ABA therapy. I provide ABA therapy. And that therapy is something that will be trauma informed, meaning I'm going to try to help them brush their teeth, wash their face, put on their clothes, things of that nature. But I'm going to do it with trauma-informed care, meaning I'm not going to try to force them or push them or hold them and do all the things that ABA used to be. So in the layman's terms, I help children with autism become fully functional adults, fully functional children. And I meet them where they are, and then I coach them up and try to get them to be where their parents would like them to be, but not only their parents, where they would like to be.
Let's dive into the businesses that you do have. Can you tell us about the businesses you have, how you funded it, and how it's going?
So the business I have, how I funded it was, I met a woman who actually has a clinic. At the time she had it. And when I went to work for her, she offered me the opportunity. She was like, hey, I have some extra space if you would like to open up your own clinic. She was like, I think you're great. I think you could do this. So she gave me that opportunity. I put in some money that I had saved up, and she gave me the rest basically, and we were able to kind of partner in opening up a new clinic, and that flourished. I got about 15 clients now, and it really helped me be able to gain financial freedom and gain the ability to move here, and not only that, be able to have a sustainable income.
Speaking about income, can you share some income? Has that changed or increased since you left the US?
The reason is increased, interestingly enough. I'm sorry? Oh, sorry. Has my income went down or went up? Has it increased or decreased? My income has actually increased since I went to Nairobi, because I would attribute that to being more free and feeling better about my day to day, and just being able to do my work better because I feel better. And do you want me to go in on the income for a BCBA average salary is about $90,000 per year USD. And I've been in the field for a long period of time, so I make more than that, obviously. I also have other ventures that I have going on, like I was explaining earlier about the teaching and things of that nature. So I do have other income outside of just the salary that you will see for a BCBA. BCBAs are also very in high demand. So if you go on Indeed and just look up BCBA right now, you're gonna see thousands of jobs, because we're so needed in the field. And I attribute me being able to make more money than I did in the States to being more happy in general, honestly, and feeling more free and feeling better in my work. And I love what I do, but I really love what I do when I'm feeling great about myself.
How much was it?
Directly in the US is, I'm working remotely right now, but I'm also planning to go back pretty soon to try to set up some things and then coming back here. So the answer to the question is I'm doing both. I plan to do both, and I plan to work remotely while doing my supervision over a long period of time and like doing my treatment plans. But also I plan to go back and really put my eyes on things and really try to figure out how I can expand even greater with my business.
More than America.
Kenya is definitely more affordable than America, and surprisingly, some things, like if you have La Roche-Posay, the face cleanser, that would be twice the amount than it is. It would be twice the amount here than it is in the US. So things like that, like premium products like cologne, are more here than in the US. But generally speaking, everything is pretty much cheaper here than it is in the US. Like the fruit, the vegetables, transportation, anything, the rent.
What are the visa or residency options for someone looking to relocate just like you did?
So the visa and residency options are pretty not great here in Nairobi, honestly. I'm looking to get a work visa right now, which is going to cost me about 1.2 million Kenyan shillings, which is about 10,000 USD. The reason I want to get that work visa is because I open up a clinic. I need to get that work visa and be legitimately here in Kenya practicing ABA. I already did get my IBA, which is my International Behaviors Analyst, that credential. I got that like last week, and that would allow me to practice here with the work visa, but the visa situation is not great in that sense. Also, you can get another visa, which is called the Nomad. The digital Nomad visa will cost you about 2,000 USD, so not great either. And that will give you, I believe, 3 years of being in Kenya. The other option, and the option that I'm on, is the 5-year visa, which you have to leave every 6 months or so. That one isn't great because, like I said, you have to leave every 6 months or so, and you have to reestablish yourself in Kenya. So the visa situations aren't great, to be honest. And I wish we could figure out a way for it to be more affordable, because 10,000 USD to have a work visa here in Kenya is kind of expensive, in my opinion.
Okay. So far, so good. The next thing we're talking about is safety, identity, and building community. So I'm ready when you are.
Ready?
Yeah, I want to change that angle a bit. Like, you just have to imagine me here. All right. Ouch.
How does that look when I'm talking here and you're there?
That's what I'm trying to. So usually, right, there'll be a tripod right here. The camera will be watching from here, and I'll be sitting there. But the psychology of it looks like you're having a conversation with someone, and the audience are watching you.
Okay.
Conversation.
Okay.
These are one of the tricks we use to increase retention. For some reason, they enjoy it more. The audience enjoy it more.
Okay.
Than like face to face.
Okay. I need to do that more in my videos then.
Yeah, it feels different. You can even use that strategy alone by yourself. Like, nobody would know that you're the one recording yourself.
Got it.
You know, so it would look more professional, but looking at it differently.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it works, so we keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just try as much as.
Okay.
I just left the track. I don't know why I left it, man. Never do that mistake. So, alright. I'm ready when you are.
Ready.
3, 2, 1, and roll.
Do I feel safe here in Kenya? Yes. There's never been really a day where I didn't feel safe. Even I was here for the protest that the police allegedly killed like 30 different Kenyan individuals during the protest, the weekend of the protest. and I still felt safe. I still walked to the gym. I still did my regular thing because I live in Westlands and the protests were going on in CBD, which is about 15 minutes away from me. So every day I'm here, I feel safe. My security guard, I talk to them. They teach me different things as far as like Nausiku Jemma and things like that, Swahili. So I'm always talking to like every security guard pretty much in every place that I go to. I know them and I'm familiar with them. So they make me feel safe as well. And then the police here are not the greatest because of what I just mentioned, how they killed 30 different people allegedly. But also the police here are kind to me. And when I talk to them, they seem pretty kind. So I feel safe. I walk around, I vlog myself. I've never felt in danger. I have had some friends who had their phone snatched, and another guy that I hang out with, he had his phone snatched out of an Uber. And that is something that is pretty prevalent here in Nairobi for people to snatch your phone or people to steal from you. But other than that, as long as you know how to, handle yourself, you know how to talk to people, and you know how to put your phone in your pocket the right way to where it's not gonna get snatched, you'll be good here in Nairobi.
All right, come back. Okay, do you experience racism or colorism here in Nairobi?
And I experience colorism, but not the way that you think. I experience colorism in a way that when I go to a restaurant, I notice that I'm treated better than a regular Kenyan person who is darker than me. So I experience colorism in that way. I don't think it's right either. I think that Kenyan people should treat each other better.
Can you expound on the colorism and make a contrast to the US real quick?
So the contrast that I would make to the US so colorism exists in the US in the way that light-skinned people are treated better, in my opinion, in the US. So a light-skinned girl is going to get more attention from people than a dark-skinned girl would. And that's just my opinion. That's just what I noticed. And I'm taking into consideration that most of my family is light-skinned. So I've kind of seen it over time that light-skinned women are treated a little bit better than dark-skinned women for the most part. Barack Obama, I don't think Barack Obama would have been elected if he was darker skinned, in my opinion, because people like to look at lighter skinned people more so. Like they think that lighter skinned people are better in a sense in the US. It's a little bit more hidden, but it still exists for sure. And then if you're a person that is white, you automatically you're at the top of the totem pole. But a lighter skinned person like a Patrick, a Steph Curry, those type of people, those type of colors kind of looks like a darker skinned individual.
I didn't expect that answer, but that was good. What is it like being an African American or a Black American living here in Nairobi?
So being a Black American living here in Nairobi is kind of like, a friend of mine said that a Black American man in Nairobi is kind of like a white woman with her breast out a little bit. A white American woman with her breast out a little bit is like top of the totem pole, right? Everybody wants her, the Black men, the white men, the Hispanic men. So basically what he was telling me, and this was a Kenyan guy, he was telling me that the Black American man is kind of like top of the totem pole here. I don't know if that's true. I'm not saying it's true. That's what he told me. In my experience, we're treated well. People know that we hear kind of how we talk. They really know that we're not from here. And then they kind of treat us like Mzungus, to be honest, white people. That's what that means in Swahili. And they kind of treat us like that sometimes. But then when we correct them, we're like, hey, we're Black. They call us other names like light-skinned people in Swahili. And so we're treated a little bit better than a Kenyan person, honestly. I think, and like I was talking about earlier, I think that Kenyan people treat foreigners better than they treat Kenyan people. And I don't think that's necessarily right, but that's just how it is because they assume that we have more money than the average person. And statistically we do, right? So the assumption is correct, but at the wrong reasons. And I think that's something that could be changed possibly.
Talking about change, if you were given the opportunity to change one thing about Kenya, what is it that you would change?
If given the opportunity to change one thing about Kenya, what I would do is the same thing that I've been doing. I had a conference here 2 weeks ago. At that conference, I funded everything. I paid for everything. I got all the organizers together and we had over 100 people that eventually showed up to this conference, and it was a mental health conference, an ABA. And that's one thing that I really am passionate about and I want to change here. I want more people to be aware of not only mental health disorders that are going on in children and adults, but also autism that's going on with children and adults, like treated undiagnosed autism, right? So that's something that I'm trying to change right now in Kenya. And hopefully me opening up, going back to my clinic that I was talking about, the idea of my clinic is I would like for it to if not government funded, for it to be government supported, to where they kind of promote my clinic. And I don't have to make a dime from it, but I just think that it's something that's necessary here, and I think that it will help the people.
Do you feel accepted here?
So in Kenya, I feel accepted for the most part. So sometimes I feel that a little bit, like, you know, the security guard is coming up to me, but also he wants a tip, right? The guy at the mall, he's more than willing to help me in his store, but also he thinks I'm gonna buy something. So he's very welcoming because of that. So sometimes you get that feeling as well. Not to discredit the Karibu Kenya that is here, the welcome to Kenya, the welcoming spirit, but sometimes I feel like the acceptance is a little bit fake because they assume that I have a little bit of money or more money than the average person here.
Have you found a supportive community or other expats, Kenyans here?
So the community, I have found a supportive community of not only Kenyans, but also Americans. I've hung out with a lot of different American guys that I've met, and you've met as well. Some guys that you'll probably be doing videos with. And they've welcomed me with open arms, even guys that I've watched their videos even before I got here. I met when I got here, right? And guys like that who just welcomed me with open arms and made me feel as if I was a part of the family. So I definitely felt welcomed in the expat community. In the Kenyan community, I felt welcome as well. When I did the conference, I had a lot of different people who reached out after the fact and want to partner. Actually, I just reminded myself I need to respond to some emails because a couple of people emailed me yesterday. I was like, hey, let's partner, let's do this, let's do that. And Kenyan people who are practicing here in Kenya. So I felt welcome in that community as well. I will say, going back to when I was talking about feeling welcomed and feeling accepted, sometimes when you hang out with a Kenyan person as a man and they know you're an American, they want you to pay for everything. And that's something that, you know, it is kind of frustrating because, like, I don't have a problem paying for a round of drinks while I drink my tea. And I'm fine with that. But to a certain extent, and sometimes as an American here and people knowing you're an American, if you go out with like a Kenyan guy, he's going to expect you to pay for everything sometimes. And that's just not something we do in the States, right? If you have a friend and you go out with a friend, you buy him a round, and then next time y'all go out, he buys you a round type deal. But here, I've noticed that people kind of try to take advantage of the fact that I'm an American.
Interesting. It's the same in Ghana, by the way.
Really?
I've heard women that hanging out with other locals, the local women expect them to pay. So it's funny.
That's crazy.
Okay, we're going to give people that.
Me they want, because it's not you.
We were just talking about them. They're usually right here.
What?
Usually in this one or the red one over there.
At the gate, I said I'm coming to house number 6. And the guy was like, and then he started speaking that English, and I was like, yeah.
That English.
Yeah.
In the ups.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
his stuff got fried probably.
The one-
That's why I want to get one. I'm not plugging it into the wall, I'm going to plug it into an up.
Oh, you talking about for the, I need one of those, why?
Really just for the crib, but I mean like.
I mean, if you have a MacBook, you cool. But if you have a gaming
Battery and
How much am I run?
behind it,
Yeah, like 100.
Nah, if it's gonna save your whole setup.
For sure, because if like a power surge or like a power outage goes, bro.
don't even turn on the PC without these.
Sure.
I spent $800 to fix my.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a
just
fire stick though,
yeah.
because I want to be able to have all my jailbreak.
Yeah.
Something about standing out there and hearing that connection.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Kenny G.
I'm with my boy. Tell him who you are, man.
Yo, man. Is it recording?
Yeah.
We with the guard, man.
Yeah. For sure. All right, man.
All right.
See you later.